I'm Mike Nicholls from Selsey, which 8 miles south of Chichester, an isolated rural seaside town. Can I first of all say thank you for allowing us to be part of Dragon's Den. I think, like many of you, for us it's been a great experience which has exposed us to a kind of wider network that we would have never discovered. And being in an isolated town, you can have good delivery but get quite exclusive and self-satisfied, and having exposure to a wider professional network has driven up our standards, helped us with record keeping, outcome delivery, and just generally been a very good experience. So thank you, all of you who are involved in that. We've appreciated it. Last year when I came, I brought 3 of my colleagues, Sue, who is our development worker, Karen, who is our operations lead, and Lisa, who is one of our activity workers. They became known as Mike's Angels, colloquially, and they got new dresses and their hair done and nails done to come today, but I told them that they had to stay and work. That's not true. Sue has gone to Devon, and Lisa's gone to Cornwall, and Karen is working in her day job. So they apologise that they're not here, and I'm sorry that my presence is somewhat limited today, but we are all very grateful. So what was our ambition and intention? Well, we set out to use our grant to help sustain Selsey Care Shop, which offers 5 services in one place on the high street of an isolated rural town. We set out to provide a dementia-friendly community and a complementary service of information, support and activities for people living with dementia and their carers. We wanted to improve face-to-face, consistent local support and offer a template for other rural towns. What did we do well? We set up and developed the shop, now with 6 staff and 80 volunteers involved in all the varied activities. We developed activities for social interaction, men's activities, music, links to care homes, a young people's group, engaging in intergenerational work, dementia friend sessions, interaction with businesses, support groups for carers, and home visits. We serve people personally through calls, visits, and face-to-face conversation. We've worked extensively in coordinated partnerships and benefited from the insight of the Alzheimer's Society, Crossroads Care, Carer Support West Sussex, and the Sage House Wayfinders outreach workers, all of whom have been great. What could we have done better? Well, we had unexpectedly high demand. We now see about 400 people a month and have about 1,200 phone interactions in that period. We've had 100 dementia referrals from agencies. And if I said, as I wrote, that we've been nimble and flexible enough to cope with it, those are euphemisms for running around like headless chickens and trying to match supply and demand. But we've just about managed it. But it has been an unexpected challenge. The other thing that we failed to do is to persuade commissioners who have come to visit us to give us any money. That may not seem significant, but when you are working in a local charity in an isolated part, funding is important. And although we've been well supported by the National Lottery, for instance, and we've got sustainable funding for the next 12 months, our impression has been that commissioners are generally interested in large organisations working in urban areas with big projects that are going to produce great results. And we don't complain about that, understandable, but when you are isolated, that can be discouraging. And so the fact that you came to visit us, I just wanted to know, meant a great deal. And that sort of encouragement is immensely valuable. So we've received just 103 specific dementia referrals, as well as those from the town who've just called in and linked with us, reaped considerable benefits from face-to-face contact, recorded numerous compliments and written an extensive study. We are now replicating the model in our neighbouring western parishes, that's the Witterings and Bracklesham, and another hub is developing in the north of our district in Midhurst. I think those facts have been really encouraging, but what we've proved is probably not earth-shattering, because I think what we've proved is that in the dementia journey, for people to have face-to-face contact with familiar people at whatever point they need to talk is of great benefit. And it's points that we've made, for instance, to those who are looking at hospital reconfiguration in West Sussex, where moving from Chichester to Worthing from a place like Selsey creates enormous challenges for visiting. And we've just tried to say that in our experience, the very fact that the carer or partner and the person living with dementia have very close, regular interaction is a major feature in the well-being on that journey. So I think that's been our major find. And what have we learned? Well, we've learned the importance of longevity. This project has actually been 5 years in the making, and we are still continuing to develop new services. We've learnt the value of adequate and thorough preparation, which is another euphemism for the fact that we thought about it and we've kind of worked as we've gone along. We've learnt the value of key personnel, and I must say that the privilege to work with the team that we have is something that every day I appreciate. They are great and work really hard. And we've learnt the value of having these 5 services around addressing loneliness, dementia support, carer support, community information, and general well-being in one place to be of immense value. That's it. Thank you very much.